Okay, we're back, and we now have Kanisha Nicole. Kanisha?
Hey, Kanisha.
Hey,
Yes,
y'all.
yes, thanks for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
First and foremost, I'm a mom, and I'm really active in the community. I am on the YDAC committee for the City of Salisbury, which is the Youth Development Advisory Committee.
Mm-hmm.
I am also on the Truth Committee. I'm the vice chair, which is the
Okay.
Truth, Racial Unity, Transformation, and Healing Committee. I am a private contractor for a nonprofit, Maneri Dream Alliance, and I work in the school systems with them, mentoring and doing peer support. I also am a private contractor for Healthport, and I do PRP programming for them, doing mindfulness. And I'm just loving on the people. I'm a spiritual, holistic, loving person that just likes to be with the people.
Okay, okay. And do you ever get time for yourself?
Yes, I have started to make time for myself and making it a point, so yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So what's the motivation behind you running for school board?
My motivation for running for school board is practically I'm a boots on the ground type of chick, and I'm just in the community with the students, the staff, the teachers, and I see their personal experiences, and I feel like I should be able to be that person to be a voice for them because I understand them and I'm relatable.
Okay, okay. Actually, I know I've seen some of your Facebook posts. You are with the youth a lot, a lot.
I love my babies.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, now there's a lot of firsts in your decision to run. Can you name a couple of them?
Well, this is my first interview. This is also my first being actively political in anything.
Mm-hmm.
These are just new experiences for me with the whole political campaign thing, and I'm also the first one to file for running for Board of Education, and this is just all new for me and my children.
Okay, okay. Well, it's good that you're not a politician.
No.
You know, when people they're used to doing this, this usually means that they've went over to that next stage of politician. And as we were talking to Bishop and Pastor, they're kind of what we want to get away from. We want those that are boots on the ground, if you will. So that's awesome. That's awesome. By the way, my wife and I, we have some grandbabies. None of them in school yet, but we definitely are watching what happens with the school board, because you're the ones that can be going around and making sure things happen right and at the school board meetings.
Exactly, making sure they're not exposed to things they're not supposed to be exposed to.
Yeah, as we heard from Bishop Dickerson being over from the Christian shelter, the kids over there, they go in there and they get put under pressure a lot. Am I right, Bishop?
Yes, a lot of pressure. So one question I was asked, how would you ease the pressure for children that are under those type of attacks? Because, bullying, anxiety, depression. So, what would you recommend, or what was your plan of action to deal with those things?
I would say my plan of action would definitely be the mental health and safety aspect of that with our homeless youth. Being able to have more therapists and more specialists in the community, as well as the school system, so they have someone they can feel safe with. That's because school is their safe space, so they shouldn't have to come there and feel unsafe. And having someone there that they can speak to and listen to and confide in for their mental health purposes, more town halls for the community so they would be able to express themselves would be perfect, I feel like, because they'd be able to make those to be able to voice their opinions.
Yeah.
And I could bring that personally to the board itself as something different. It's not something that's you see done at all, where you bring the community's voice to a board meeting.
Awesome.
I like that. I like that a lot. Pastor Mitchell, being a school teacher, is there anything you would like to ask her?
There's a lot of questions I want to ask her, but of course we don't have enough time to do it. But I just am curious, was it like one particular issue that said to you, that's going to be the reason why I want to be on the board?
No. I would say it was a variety of issues. Being in the school system, actually as a mentor myself, because I do Y Comical Mentoring Project, so I am in the school system. I mentored over 30 kids last year. It was beautiful.
Wow.
Yes, it was beautiful. East Salisbury, Salisbury Middle, and Bennett High, as well as in Dorchester County. It was beautiful. So when it comes to that, there was not one thing that just made me say, hey, I need to do this, but I know that I love being a voice for the people, and I'm also one of those people that I can't keep talking and not doing anything about it. So the best thing to do is be someone who's relatable to the people in the community and be their voice for them as a collective.
Good answer. Good answer. Now, personal setbacks. How has that helped you to become more of a leader?
I believe my personal setbacks just made me push harder for what I believe in, which is the community, which is the students and the teachers and the staff. So my personal setbacks made me realize that I just have to keep pushing forward. And as I said before, there's no need in me keep talking and not doing anything about it. So the setbacks told me, you know what, go ahead, it's okay.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
My motto is keep going, so I like that.
Yeah, that's definitely her motto. Let me ask you this: should there be a concern with the books that are in the school libraries?
Yes. And I feel like that should just be like an age appropriate thing. That's age appropriate. So it just depends on the mental capacity of the children. And I feel like at certain points, it should just be only in certain age groups or certain schools. And that way they can make their decision with their parents and family.
Now, do you think that the parents should be more involved in what books are actually in the libraries?
I feel like they should. They should show up more so or listen to the things that they send. Like every Sunday, I know we get a text, a voice call, and a email from the school system. So if they're paying attention to what's going on, if it's put in that particular setting, I feel like as long as we're paying attention, the teachers and the parents will have a voice.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, and anybody chime in here. Has our young people in the school system mental health been properly considered and dealt with? And that's a question for any of you.
No.
No?
No. I think my main concern when I say no is because I feel like being in the school system and mentoring these children, our children's behaviors are looked at more so than their abilities. So they're judged off of how they act versus off what they can actually do. And then they're categorized. So their mental health is, we don't know what's going on in the home, and we don't know what's going on in their particular community, or like I said, the school is their safe space. So we don't know what they're going through because we're not actively trying to see that. So no, I don't believe that their mental health is looked at as much.
Yeah, and I think the alternative school can shift. It could change, because you can't put a student in front of a computer who's hungry and expect them to learn. So I think they need to restructure the alternative school different. I think they ought to offer, and if they don't, maybe I can stand be corrected. Mental health. They need job readiness. They need understanding what a leader is, leadership, and then have the skills such as masonry, carpentry, and begin to develop their minds in that aspect. Because again, because everybody's not college material. Some people are hands-on. So I think and I think if they would institute those type of classes into alternative schools, or teaching those children how to be entrepreneurs, and so forth, it will definitely limit the amount of behavior. So I think if they would restructure the alternative school, that they will achieve the goals better.
Give them something to look forward to.
Exactly.
Because again,
Yep.
as Kenesha said, you don't know what their home life
Right.
is like. So their parents can be influencing them in a negative way. You just don't know. And therefore, they're mad at the world. Give them something that they can have joy about.
Yeah.
And not just the restructuring aspect from that point of view, but I mean, have you actually seen the alternative school structure, exterior design? It looks like a prison.
Wow.
Looks like a prison, because the environment, and that's another issue. But I can't ask you all the questions. In
No,
a
please,
segment,
go ahead
but,
and ask her.
you know, that's a major issue that the board members currently are facing, is not enough funding to rebuild the schools. You know, we've had teachers who have died of cancer because the schools are 100 years old.
Right.
Wow.
You
Wasn't
know,
aware of that.
so all of that, you know, internally, externally, has a lot to, you know, play in a child's learning behavior. Because I can speak for myself. If the atmosphere, there's no AC, There's no hot. I mean, I've been around since the old Bennett Middle when we had the chicken fans. You know,
I thought they
when
changed
there
that
was
after 40 years.
When there was no AC, when there was no AC,
Wow.
and so there was no heat. Some of the classrooms. So these are the internal things
Right.
that are ongoing issues. So you know, it definitely would. You know, I would just urge you to, again, like I was sharing in the last segment, to really dig deep into these, you know, issues.
The actual needs
Yeah.
in the facilities, in the schools. So, because if a child isn't comfortable, how are they expected to learn properly and all of those issues?
I remember some teachers, and this is a true story. Some teachers at Dorchester County Public Schools says, we have a hard time of teaching the African American students.
Wow.
Why?
Exactly. Why?
Wow. Wow.
We have a difficult time. They verbally said we have a difficult time. of
Why
teaching
is it
that.
limited? I can't even speak
Right.
today.
Right.
To the African American students.
Right.
Kanisha,
right.
what do you think?
I feel like that comes from relatability as well. So if you can't relate to the children, then how are you going to understand how to teach them? And that's also, like I said, being a boots on the ground. And we also, when we speak of mental health in the school system, we can't forget about our students, our staff. Our staff have to deal with children who have passed away, their own home life. So they're trying to teach children who don't even understand their own personal mental health, what's going on. So you have a teacher who is trying to battle a child who has passed that they have taught, their own home life, their own children, their own second jobs, and we're not thinking about them either. So there's the mental health of the staff as well.
That's
so it's
something
not
I
just
never
our
thought
children,
of.
it's the
That's
staff
good.
as well. So
Yes.
it's kind of hard. How do you expect a
Wow.
teacher to teach as well as they can and then be at their best when they have their own home lives as well and still dealing with the students'
True.
behavior and mental health that they're dealing
Yeah,
with?
they took the mental health days from us since the pandemic
No.
was over. We used to have when the pandemic was here, we had the Wednesday of every week was mental health day
Really?
at this time. But once everybody got back to school,
Yeah.
they threw that all that out the window. We've been asking for it, but they actually said never.
I
we
feel
won't
like
do it
that's a
again.
very important thing because everybody deserves rest. Your brain deserves rest in order to progress. You cannot progress and teach the children appropriately, even as a teacher, if you have a lot of mental things going on where you need to digest throughout your day.
But that would be an issue that I would like for you to address.
Yes, definitely. Especially when you said that, I started thinking about. I've always said that about with law enforcement. I always said that sometimes, like, let's say after an officer, God forbid, sees their partner get shot, they need to have some time off. Not just go back to the next case, because what happens is they take that same feeling into the next situation and it doesn't end up right. So it's the same thing with teachers in a certain, like you just, I never thought of that, Kanisha. That's actually a really good point. It's a really good point. Wow. Well, thank you all for coming on. I just want to ask one last question. I want to leave it up to you. If you had 30 seconds to a minute to just say what makes you head and shoulders above any other candidate, what would you say?
Point blank period, I'm me. And that's what you get. I'm me all the way around. I'm loving, I'm happy. I just love spreading positive vibes, and it's just what I feel like we should spread. I always tell people, I'm a firm believer that love is a frequency, not an emotion. So if we can spread love throughout our community and our school system, we would thrive.
Sounds good to me. Thank you all for coming on. This has been Bridging the Gap. We'll be talking to you soon.